It's that magical time of the week. We're all going to race on indieVelo once more. It's a new platform, but you know, we just warm into this so quickly, and really looking forward to Monday evenings here with you guys, whether you're racing or just watching. Glad to have you along. Thanks very much to ZMS for producing the live stream once again. Let's have a quick look at the course today. It's the flat 8, and it's not flat. It is a figure of 8, and here you are. You can watch the line going around. There's a lead in, and then you get this figure of 8 there. There's a little lead in that's not on a white line there that goes along the coast, and then it does this figure of 8 twice. So you do the figure of 8 twice at 7.7 kilometres, but there's a lead in which makes the first lap, if you like, 11.2 kilometres, and they're 2 kilometres into the race. There's a quite steep ramp, and I think this is going to blow the race wide open early on, but we shall see. A couple of ramps later for everybody to go around. Now, one and a half minutes to go to the start. Let's have a look at the placings so far. Only 2 races, but my word, as Tim Humpton set his marker, he's won both of them with really strong sprints at the end. Won it convincingly the first time, looked to be a convincing win the second time, but only just made it, nearly chased down by a couple of riders, including Mick Greenhalgh. So I think people who are watching for Tim now, they know his tactics, so maybe he's got new ones this time round, we shall see. Maybe those ramps will change the course of the race, we shall see. R3R are the team with, I think, 4 riders in the top 10. Other teams to look out for: Saddle Trunk with Alex Gold and Peter Mills, OTR, Gordon Jackson and Clive Byam, and CLS, Tim Humpton leading, not Tim Humpton, Erwin Springers from CLS, Tim Humpton's for Electric Light, actually, Erwin Springers from CLS, and of course Lee Louis, down there in 17th in general classification, but romping away with the Ladies League at the moment, expecting a few more ladies to join the races as we go through the series, and it's your best 6 ladies, so with plenty of races left, 8 including this one, there's still a chance to win it. General classification, though, you need to be here regularly if you're going to win that. 20 seconds to go. Let's have a look at the start line, see who's out there today. Looking quite healthy. I can see quite a few OTR type kits in there, so I think OTR are out in force. I can see one of my West London. R3R in there, I can see their kit quite predominantly. Apparently 45 on the line. That's a very healthy amount. See, and they're off. So, you have to pedal as hard as you can at the start of these. As I say, watch for 2 kilometres in, because there is this steep ramp, and I think that's going to be a big moment in the race. Right, so not quite sure who we've got on the front. Marino Sesson, it says on the logo at the top there, but that's not him, because he's not an R3R rider off the front at the moment. As we go spinning around, and as I say, I can't tell who's who. One of the here we go. This is more like it. It's one of the Saddle Trunk riders off the front at the moment, and no, it's Ratio Racing. It's Ingmar van Beurs off the front at the moment for Ratio Racing. Alex Gold is a Saddle Trunk rider just behind him. Now you can see this peloton has already formed and left riders behind. You can see riders just round on the bend there who've not made it into that group. So this select group is already having an effect on the race. Now, we're only a short way into the race, so this is going to break up on that ramp that's coming up very, very shortly. It's quite a big, healthy peloton, but I think this ramp, as I say, is going to come. We're just 1 kilometre in, so we're about a kilometre away from this at the moment. Dan Kelmar, Tim Humpton now off the front, the Electric Spirit rider, as I mentioned, leading the series at the moment. Kevin O'Pelly for NZ Pro, fantastic NZ Pro, super team from down there in New Zealand, absolutely full of top riders. We see Anders Jonsson in there, Evans Oystensen for R3R, Zeb Normans in, Matt James, Soren Lindner, all in that top 10 at the moment. But Tim Humpton pulling away. I said he might have a different tactic on this one. I wonder if he's just trying to get over that ramp before everybody else, and they're on it now. They're going inland from the coast, and you can see how strung out that bunch has got. Tim Humpton putting the pressure on the front. 14th at King Tubby. Nick Greenhalgh all the way back in 15th with Coles, Axels, and Benson. Igor Coxey, great to see you in Igor. Haven't seen you for a while. Rob Miller from R3R. Great man at 19th. Martin Brooks from Saddle Trunk at 20th. Tony Martin Lake. Gordon Jackson from OTR at 22nd. Daffyd Williams 23rd. Morena Sesson from ADR, 24th. And Top Jimmy at 25th. He'll be pleased with that, getting into that group. But you can just see the damage that has been done on that climb. Pete Mills all the way back in 31st. Tobias York, one of my riders. And Imar Van Beurs dropped back to 27th from being out in the lead on that climb. So quite a bit of damage there as we sort of just watch this all strung out now. Zach Brannigan at 36, Lee Perry from Uxbridge at 35th, just behind Thomas Poniatowski's chatting to him on social media this morning. Moonriders, but he's signed up for us until Moonriders set up a team. It's great to have you on board, Thomas. Clive Byron from OTR, fallen back there. Pete Mills, 32nd, will be disappointed. Lee Louie at 39th, she's not last. Finn Brask is at 40th, and I presume there's some riders behind that as well. As we look at the damage as they go over this... Lisa Snell back there in 42nd behind Finn Brask, and glad to see her and her son out riding with us on Sunday on our Sunday Club ride. And looking, I'm just trying to work out who we're looking at now. It looks like OTR rider, and we're back out front now. Zeb Norman, another one of the Electra Spirit ones alongside Tim Humpton. So Electra Spirit now putting in a bit of a team, and their names coming up on the caption, which suggests to me that they've registered the team. In previous races, Tim wasn't. Now, there's a lot of experimentation going on at the moment because indieVelo is a new platform, and so you will sort of see riders suddenly get their team sorted out and names going against them. You see some of those, Kevin Barkley and Anders Johnson's saying no team. But we have got a select little bunch here, haven't we, of about 12, 13 riders. And I think there are 2 more ramps to come, but I think that first one was the worst one. So we're probably looking at the group the winner is going to come from. As I say, there's this lead-in bit, and there's 14.4 kilometres to go. So they've done 3.5 kilometres. They'll go under one of these little barriers in a moment. Look at Matt James from Electric Spirit putting in quite a team this week, haven't they? They've actually got 3 riders in. So Matt now way off the front. I think when we go on to the next barrier from memory, I did do a preview of this course. I try to do a preview of every race so that you've got an idea of what's coming up. But as I say, I think when you go under the second barrier, then you're on the figure of 8 loop. So it'll be 2 times 17.7 to go. I think we might be about to hit it. We'll have to see in a moment. Anyway, Matt James is way off the front. Nick Greenhouse has clawed his way back right up to third. Alex Gold in there. 2 riders from Ealing in West London, as it happens, riding for other clubs, not mine. Both good friends of mine, it has to be said. Ratio Racing for Nick Greenhouse, Saddle Drunk, of course, for Alex Gold. Alex there in the with Alex at the front here with the black kit with the yellow and white stripes. Now, if you want to wear your club's kit, you do have to be a paying subscriber. You see the wonderful R3R kit there, the sky blue jerseys. Love that jersey. That's Dan Stimson. R3R have got a Tuesday night event coming up tomorrow night. They've got the Tuesday Teams event, which they're starting on indieVelo. So give that a bit of support if you're in a team. They are a fantastic club. And just look at this, the gradient going up a little bit as they go round this curve. Beautiful views. Thanks, Damon, very much for the I can say photography, but the camera work. Let's call it the camera work. Tim Humpton now off the front. Electric Spirit really are the team that's forcing the issue here, isn't they? I mean, we've seen Tim Humpton sit there and sprint at the end, but he's gone for it several times, forcing the issue off the front today. And one of the Saddle Drunk riders here now dropped back. I'm just trying to work out which one that might be. But it's probably Pete Mills. I think there was a third Saddle Drunk rider in, wasn't there? I don't think that's Alex Gold, though. 13th? Possibly, but I don't think so. And just getting these social media messages up. Check Brett Smith telling me that he didn't make it. So we're on to this first lap now, because it does come back down to the sea as we follow. As I say, I think that it could be Alex Gold, but I thought Alex was in the group ahead, so not really sure. It is Alex Gold, isn't it? It says up there on the top of my right-hand screen. I've just noticed. You see the little wisps, the little white lines there? They're telling you which way the wind's going. Alex is sort of got a tailwind at the moment, doing quite a healthy speed, and I can't quite see what's really doing. But the wind speed is 8 kilometres an hour, coming at him from the left now, if you look at the arrow at the top. So it was Alex Gold, and he seems to have dropped off the group. I'm a little bit surprised. I know Alex is a strong rider, so I don't know what quite happened there. Anyway, it's Tim Humpton on the front again. Electric Spirit look like they're going to be the team to beat in this. R3R got Dan Stimson up there. Dan clearly not saving anything for his team's race tomorrow. Perhaps he's going to be sitting back organising it. And somebody's going off the front is Zeb Norman, another one of the Electric Spirit riders. Three of them, Matt James, Zeb Norman and Tim Humpton in this front group. BHC with 3 riders. Look at that. Daniel Kera, Sven Kessi Dresse and Soren Lindner. All in the top 10. So Electric Spirit 3 riders, BHC with 3, who we got no team for 2, and R3R just the one racer. Nick Greenhouse, Horacio Racing up there. And again, Electric Spirit putting this pressure on the front, and they're probably seeing who'll chase. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick and Jep Snaver's in that group as well for R3R, so they're not too badly. Dan and Jep in that, so that's a bit better, isn't it? I'm only reading the top 10, and I think there's more than 10 riders in that group. There's one off the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably about a dozen riders altogether, so we're not seeing the whole group. Carl Axel, Xander Pedersen, and Alex Gold. We know Alex fell off the back because we were following him a bit earlier. Really sorry to see that. Martin Brooks, the other Saddle Trunk rider, also out of that group. And when we had the test rides, Saddle Trunk and R3R were the 2 teams that supported us, so it was nice to see them doing well. We can see 2 R3R riders in this little group here, can't we? And that's the light blue letters. So here we are, and we just changed the graphics, so we're trying out all the different permutations of the graphics, just seeing what suits best. Now this is the sort of graphic that you would actually see when you're racing, so slightly different, as you can see. And you can see from this group that we've got in there Daniel Conahan. These are the so we haven't got the team names in there now. So the other graphic had the team names. This one doesn't. As I say, this is complete experimentation. We're really testing this out, trying to get the best formulas for you. With the first people doing this on there, it's ZMS working with West London VR. Look out for the OTR guys and their team time trial events as well. I'm sure ZMS are working on those too. So all this experimentation, where it's all going to be carved out and learned and perfected, is on those races. So look out for those. So 3 off the front now. We've got Soren Lindner, Zeb Norman and Tim Humpton. So it's 2 electric spirits riders, electric bikes. That's probably why they're winning, isn't it? Electric bikes. And plenty of data on there. You've got their speeds, everything. Doing 31 kph, 2% gradient on this little bit, 9.7 kilometres to go. And as I say, you can look at the profile down the bottom of the course. There's right at the bottom of your screen, and you'll see the arrow pointing where the riders we're watching are. So they're going to end up completing one of the laps, the first lap, very, very soon at 9.5. So about 2k to complete the first lap. And there's one figure of 8, and which will leave them just that big bump. You can see they've probably got a little bit of a bump just before the end of the lap. That one's not very steep and it doesn't last very long. And there's one big bump halfway through the last lap. So that might be the telling feature in the last lap. As we follow Carl Axel Pedersen and a group of other riders, including Kevin Barkley, the Scot, Jep Snaver in there for R3R, Matt James, Alex Gold in this group now. So it says. And they're coming around. This isn't the barrier. The barrier you can see ahead. There's several barriers around the courses on indieVelo. The green arch you can see here. They're not all. You can see there's a start one on the right there. That's one of the starting grids. This one isn't important to our race. You can see there's nothing lit up in the screen that's dangling from the arch. When they go under the one that starts lap 2, it will say that you're starting lap 2. It will say lap 1. It has been completed. So Tim Humpton once again pushing hard off the front, and you can see his data there, power 352. I'd be delighted, 410. I'd be delighted if I could do that. I clearly can't. Zeb Norman not far behind, along with Soren Lindner. I wonder if Electric Spirit are really team racing here. Tim Hunter not actually working wheel to wheel with Zeb Norman there, and Soren Lindner is actually taking the draft off of Tim's wheel at the moment as they swing round the lake. You can see the lake now. There's only 700 metres to go till we get to the start of the final lap. These two riders a little bit off the front, but there's a healthy group behind them that if they work together could more than easily pull them back, I suspect. Which is easy to say when you're commentating and you're not under pressure in the shed working hard on a hot summer's evening pushing pedals. Tim Humpton has been absolutely amazing. I mean, if he doesn't win this, he would get the equivalent of the most aggressive rider award, wouldn't he? I mean, he's just done so much work off the front, as Electric Spirit teammates have too. But he's not losing Soren, is he? Soren's now up there with him, and these two are pulled away from Matt James. I mean, this is decisive. There they go under the arch. So they're on the final lap, 7.7 kilometres to go. Just that one lump coming up halfway through the lap. And it's a case of whether or not this group behind are going to work together to get off there. R3R in there with Dan Stimson and Jaap Snever, two R3R riders in there. Not both, I'm guessing both haven't got the jersey on there. Oh, yes, I have. I can see them both now. Both wearing the jersey. That means they're paid up. You can join the club, but you won't be able to opt for the kit if you're not a paying subscriber. I think the green and white jerseys are probably OTR riders, I'm guessing. I might be wrong. And certainly it's hard to say because there's a few no team riders in there. Ratio Racing, which is Nick Greenhouse's team, usually black and orange, and I think Nick is probably, I'm guessing, in black with a last time out he had an orange and black helmet on so you can identify him. So Morten Veng we haven't mentioned in this group. Seven Kessie Jesse we have. Daniel Kerner we have mentioned before. Jaap Snever we know about. And I think we've mentioned everybody. But it's these three out the front, and they are pulling back together. Look, they're lapping a rider here. So that's how fast they are going. They are lapping one of the back markers already. So these three going for the podium positions. I'm just wondering if that gap now is... that's Clive Byham they just went by, in 33rd position. They probably lapped a few more, actually. Now, I think these three maybe, just maybe, have got enough of a march to get away. It seems to me that the gap is getting quite big, and you can see it visually, or you can see the back group are just coming through that arch now. One of the R3R riders just joining on the back there, and you saw how far ahead the front three were. 6.2 kilometres to go. I've got a feeling as Clive Byham watches somebody else go. I do leave it so that you can actually draft your lap. So if you are in one of these races and you get lapped, I usually set it so that you can actually try and get back on the peloton there. I prefer it if you didn't interfere with the race, but on the other hand, I don't think there's nothing wrong with drafting. The probability is if you're back, you're not going to stay on forever and not do too much damage. But there's sometimes complaints about people interfering with the race when they do that. And as I say, as long as you don't clutter it up too much, I think there's nothing wrong with just sort of trying to get a little bit of a draft if you are at the back. Now, we're on this climb. You can see how much that's slowed down. This is the... big lump. This is now they're over the top by the looks of it, and well, they're near the top, down to 1% now, and it's Soren Lindner who's got away, and he sat there on Tim Humpton's wheel for a long time, and he's pulled away. Can Tim do it? Tim's struck. Oh, look at Tim pulling this gap back. He's a powerful rider. He might not have liked the lump, but I don't think that Soren's made that pay. He hasn't shaken off Tim. And Zeb Norman now goes into third place. Matt James all the way back into that group now. He's been caught by the group. So these two are scrapping it out. 5.3 kilometres to go. Tim or Soren? Tim leading the series, remember. And I think basically Soren hasn't ridden enough races to really trouble him right now. So I'm thinking that even if Tim comes second, that's going to be a great result for him. He nearly got caught last time. This time, I think he's got a safe-ish gap. 5 kilometres, though, to go. So it's not over yet. We're watching Zeb Norman. Now, he's pulling away from the group. Nick Greenhouse is chasing him. Nick Greenhouse in the black, catching up with Zeb. Can they work together to make up that ground. They've got quite a big gap to make up. 20 seconds, or maybe just under 20 seconds over 4.7 kilometres. Well, if they work together, I think it could happen. So Nick was one of the riders who nearly caught Tim last time. Here we are. They've got an 18-second gap on the riders behind. Will Tim and Soren work together? I think they sort of are. I think they know that, and they've eked it out. It's about 19 seconds. They're pulling away a little bit. So Nick is not making up the ground. This group a little bit fragmented now, not really working together, and maybe that's just because certain people say, well, that's that. If we're not going to work effectively as a big group, we're going to have to push it on our own. And it has this effect when somebody goes off the front, it just stretches it out into a line, as you can see there. And they're coming round. I think that's probably Clive again that they're about to lap, I'm guessing. One of the R3R riders now just catching up. Looking at that's... I'm just wondering who that is, actually. That's... just trying to work out who we're looking at. It's one of the R3R riders, isn't it? It's probably Dan Stimson, and he's probably... they say 41, Lisa Snell. I don't think that's Lisa in the green there. I might be wrong. I don't think so, no, because I think that's she must be further up. She's about to be caught by Tim, I would guess. So this group now, you see there the back marker they've just overtaken, getting on the back, making the most of that, and just getting a little bit of a toe to eke out a bit more time. Some of you might disagree with my philosophy on that. I don't mind if you do. It's just choices and taste, isn't it? So, with 3.3 kilometres to go for this group, lap 2 out of 2, they're on a flat stretch, so speeds now 48 kph, pretty fierce, isn't it? And we're looking at Carl Axel Pedersen on there, Kevin Barkley in there, Dan Stimson from R3R in the light blue and red, of course. Jep Snaver, another R3R rider. Stevie Cooper, I haven't mentioned him so far, the Scottish rider from Glasgow United. They are a super team of about 3 or 4 riders. There's Carl Axel putting out power of 295. The group's sort of a little bit fragmented, but not too bad. I mean, they can work together, but they're running out of race to catch anybody up front. And I think the front two now, it'd be interesting to see whether or not Nick and co have made any ground catching them up. Here we are. This is Tim Hampton. Hasn't shaken off Soren yet again. 2.5k to go. Tim likes to lead out, probably inside the last kilometre, maybe a bit before. And, it's been interesting to see 17 seconds. So Nick and Matt clawed a little bit back. But 2 seconds over the last couple of kilometres does not suggest they've got the rate to make the gap. There's a gap right back now to Dan Stimson, Nick Greenhouse, Matt James, Ed Norman, Carl Axel Pedersen. So Nick very much back in that group. It's gone out to 18 seconds again now. I think we are going to have a sprint between these two. And it looks like as they start going up the gradient, it goes up to 2%. Now, Soren knew that he dropped Tim on the last one, but Tim saved a bit, hasn't he? Look at that. Tim laying down a marker. He's going up that little ramp. It's not as steep this time. It's only a 1%er. And Tim doing what he always does, coming powerful at the end. But Soren's just back on his wheel. Soren, is he going to go past him or sit on the wheel? It's back to 0%. They've still got a little bit of a rise to go before the finish. Minus 1% here, though. Nothing in it. Nobody tearing away. Tim slightly in the lead from Soren, of course. The gap now 19 seconds back to the others. And they're not going to catch. 1.6 kilometres to go. It's between 20 seconds now. So it's Tim and Soren fighting for first position. This is going to be a great bunch sprint between the rest of them, though, isn't it? Look at this at the front now. It's Tim as they overtake another back marker. Tim from Soren. Soren's not giving anything past. More back markers now. And Soren just sitting on Tim's wheel as he got the sprint to overtake him. The bunch behind now, all closed up. All waiting for that bunch sprint. Who will take that? This is going to be two exciting separate finishes. Great split screen. Thank you, Damon. And Tim still leading out Soren. They get ever closer to the finish. And they're going past that start point that we've mentioned a little minute ago. They go through the first of those barriers, which isn't ours. When they go through the second, that will be the end. You know it's coming up. There's not far to go. It's Tim with Soren on his wheel. This is typical breakaway sprint, isn't it? Watching each other like hawks. Tim hasn't got it the way he's had it in the last two races, where he's got clean clear at this sort of stage in the race. And I don't know how far there is to go to the front, but to the finish, I should say. It's not on Tim's screen. Tim just edging away from Soren now. Can Soren close that gap? He's pulling it back, but he's obviously working hard. Soren now, right, he's half-wheeling Tim as they come in around the last little sections. And it's anybody's guess. They've got to go around this bend now. They're going to go to the left, and we will see the finishing line shortly. Tim is putting on some pressure, but he's not getting rid of Soren, is he? They have got 500 metres to go, and Tim is not as emphatic. It's not as emphatic as he has been in the last two races. He's really got a fight on his hands with Soren here. And Soren now just taking the draft. Tim goes for it again. This is what he's done in the last two races. Can Soren react? He's pulled it back several times, but might have burnt some matches. Tim is making a gap. The end is in sight. You can see the finish. But Soren now, he's just pulling back. He's eking it. Oh, this is so exciting. Soren now, he goes past Tim. Can he hold it? Oh my goodness. What a finish. What a finish. For the first time in the series, Tim Humpton loses. He'll stay at the top of the GC, but my word, wasn't that good. Morten Veng from Norway takes third place, and it's Nick Greenhouse fourth from Matt James, the Electric Spirit rider. And there's the full top finishing positions. I think that's repeating the top 9 twice, top 10 twice. So that's one of those little experimental things that we do. In fact, it's so good, we'll read it twice. Soren Lindner then, with what a finish that was. Morten Veng pulling away from Nick Greenhouse in another exciting finish. Matt James ending up third there. Zeb Norman, Dan Simpson for R3R. Don't forget the R3R Tuesday Teams event on indieVelo tomorrow. Carl Axel, Sander Pedersen. Great result, Carl. Well done. Great to have you back. Kevin Barkley in 9th position and Daniel Kerrer in 10th. What two fantastic finishes. A bunch sprint and, of course, the breakaway too. We'll have more results for you. Let's just have another look at that. Look at the way Soren just eked out that gap. And you know what? 300 yards before that, 300 metres before that, you actually thought Tim looked the stronger out of the two. I was not sure that Soren was going to catch him. And then look at that at the end. Absolutely amazing. And Martin Young, Nick Greenhouse just beating Matt James from the rest of the bunch in that. Absolutely amazing. That was fantastic racing. So glad. This is Lisa, by the looks of things. She quite often wears a pink jersey, actually, when she comes out on her rides. So I can see why she would have chosen this one. The West London colours, of course, pink and blue as well. Somebody goes whizzing past her. That's Arga Copsey. Great to see you, Arga. Finishing, of course, at that point. Great racer from Eastern Europe. Who else we got? Rob Miller and Alex Gold we've seen just coming in. I'm a little bit surprised Alex is all the way back there. I mean, he'll probably chat to me later this evening and tell me where it all went wrong. But I'm sure he'll be back to fight another week. Marino Sesson behind him, another strong rider. Plenty of results to come in. King Tubby in there. Just behind. Kevin Opele from NZ Pro. Fantastic to have the NZ Pro team. Great club. Love them to bits. Kevin's a lovely fella too. I don't speak to him much because we're on completely different time zones, but whenever I have, he's been absolutely superb. Who we've got? Anders Jansen there. More results coming in now. Just reminding you of the top 10. Got the times in here and the teams so we can just see how well they did. Electric Spirit with 3 riders in the top 10. In fact, 3 riders in the top 6, but they didn't win. Morten Veng taking third, just ahead of Nick Greenhouse. But Tim Humpton, for the first time, is defeated. Soren Lindner, the German, taking that with a splendid finish. 23.36. I think that's a pretty good time to and given a couple of steep lumps which slowed everybody down, I think that's a very, very commendable time. 1 second out for Tim Humpton, another 8 back to Morton and Nick and co. Zeb Norman, Dan Stimson making up 6th and 7th place there. Carl Alexander Pedersen, Kevin Barkley, Daniel Kira. What a race. I'm not sure if we've got any other results for you. I'd love to see where some of the ladies are finishing. I'm sure Lee Louis is in there tonight. I don't know what else we've got really. We saw Lisa, didn't we? It looks like it's going back to me, so perhaps we're not going to get a chance to see some of the other riders. Now, if you are anxious to find out where they're all finished, you can go to www.westlondoncycling.com. It's on the right hand side of your screen. That's where the results will be. It will take me a couple of hours to get the results up there. They're not fully automated these days. I'll try and get that sorted out later this year. They're sort of semi-automated, but I do go through and check them because we're in a very experimental era with indieVelo at the moment. As you can see, not everything is as smooth as we'd like, but it's going to get better and better. And I'm sure you'll agree, these broadcasts from ZMS are absolutely fantastic and bring so much to the racing. I've been thrilled tonight. You probably heard during that finish, I nearly lost my voice. I think I might have to go and get a beer. Good night, and don't forget, look up on the website later, and I'll put all the results and the report and the standings up for you, so you can see the whole race results. In fact, if you've raced, you can get them fairly quickly. You can download them. So I might even put a quick post up with the actual race results on before I do all the standings. So let's see if I can do that. After the beer, of course. See you next time. Thanks very much for supporting Monday Malarkey. We're here 7:30 p.m. UK time every Monday on the wonderful new platform indieVelo. See you later.